Here, I will tell about my unforgettable experience. That is when I was at the Islamic boarding school. At that time, I was undergoing a period of leadership training for students. When I was carrying out an outbound in the middle of a rice field, I had to pass an obstacle in the form of a straightened rope, and I had to pass through the obstacle without touching the rope at all in a muddy puddle that made it difficult for me to move. When I walked down on my way, I hit the rope, and there I was immediately thrown so much mud over my head and back. Of course, this made it even more difficult for me to move without hitting the rope. In addition to my body being fatter, finally I bent my head further down to touch the mud, and that to still hitting the rope. And I was finally thrown with mud again on top of my head, making me swallow the mud. And it tasted very bad, bitter, and disgusting. Finally, I reached the end of the obstacle with a tight chest like asthma. Even though I didn't have history of the disease, after the program ended, it turned out that I was being filmed by one of my young teachers and sent to my parents with the intention of being a joke. Suddenly, it caused a very big commotion when my parents immediately became angry and criticized the boarding school supervisor and the event committee who were involved. Almost brought to legal action because my parents feel very hard seeing their children treated like jokes, and it is against the law, like violence. After that incident, I often calk, and when examined by the doctor, it was true. It was true that my lungs were dirty and had to be cleaned with antibiotics from the doctors. My parents were very angry about this incident, but I asked to them not to complete the problem. And finally, they apologized to me, and the problem was over. Alhamdulillah. The routine activity that I'm currently doing is when I'm being diligent, I wake up at 3 a.m. for midnight prayer. If not, I get up immediately when the town calls to prayer and perform the subuh prayer. Then was the dishes. After that, I sometimes sleep, sometimes jogging. After 6 o'clock a.m., I help my sister for cook and sweep the house. If there is a class at 7 a.m., I immediately take a shower at 6:50 a.m. If there is no morning class, I take a shower at 11 a.m. as well as to prepare for Zuhur prayer. I regularly have breakfast in the morning. And from morning to night, I am only at home doing my homework, assignments, watch YouTube, and take a nap. If there is no afternoon class. What is certain is that I pray 5 times a day, and after Maghrib, I take time to recite the Quran because it is my habit and pretty boring activity nowadays. What I want to do when the pandemic is over is that I really want to go to college for face-to-face, meet lecturers, meet friends, and find a boyfriend. No, I'm just kidding. Then I want to go around the one UMS campus so that I memorize how my campus looks like. And of course, I want to play with my friends in Solo and go out of town. For example, on vacation to Jogja and Bali.